Everything started with a disappearance. There was a passenger plane named Flight 5B8 with 45 passengers and 3 pilots on their normal tour. The main pilot was Jasowski, a 44-year-old man with 2 children. The second pilot was Hoster, 26 years old, and the third was Jan, a 30-year-old Englishman. The plane disappeared 2 hours after launching, and 3 detectives had the case in their hands. Tarkov, the main detective, Polio, Tarkov's right hand, and Uber, controlling the instruments.
We're getting close, I know it. We just need some evidence to start forming a narrative.
But sir, we've researched everywhere in the outskirts of Stockholm, where the airplane lost signal. There's no way we would have missed anything.
Well, it depends. It's possible there are witnesses out there, or that we could find the plane's 24-hour recorder.
The group continued their discussion when suddenly 2 police officers stormed in, holding a bunch of papers.
We've got more info. Fast. There might be a way to discover the rest of the disaster.
A couple says they saw the event happening. If they're telling the truth, there might be witnesses.
The 3 detectives decided to follow the police officers into the interrogation room, where they met Jacob and Yondu.
Alright, you two. Tell us in detail what you saw.
And so, the interrogation began.
Welcome back, dear Creepypasta followers. This is your radio host signing in for another terrifying plane story.
What a great return. Can you explain more about what this story has to offer?
Well, this story isn't really a creepypasta. It's more of a disaster story.
Cool. That's also a new concept, isn't it?
Well, it sure is, and I think we've been talking enough. Let's continue the story.
As Jacob and Yondu began recounting their harrowing experience, the atmosphere in the room grew tense. The dimly lit interrogation room became a stage for the unfolding mystery.
It was a typical evening. Yonda and I went on a hike trip in the outskirts of Stockholm. We decided to camp near the woods. We notified something unusual in the sky.
Yeah, there was like some strange glow, like an otherworldly shimmer. We thought it was some rare celestial event at first, but then we saw the plane.
The room fell into a heavy silence as the detectives leaned in, hanging on to every word.
The license of the plane stated Flight 5B8. My wife and I looked at it for a moment. We didn't think much of it. It wasn't uncommon for airplanes to pass by.
So what happened after that?
Yeah. We need more information about where the plane might have gone.
Well, we noticed after a while that the plane began to spin, like a fidget spinner, but up and down. It had no control at all. The plane also seemed to be going in circles.
Did it crash?
Well, not from what we saw. After a short while, the pilot must have regained control of the spinning, but it was still descending. After a while, the plane disappeared from our sight, and we heard a bang but couldn't find the plane after looking, so that was it.
All right, well, it seems like the autopilot steering must have been shut off somehow. It could have been if the pilots forgot that the autopilot was on. They could have tried to steer the opposite way than the autopilot. But that doesn't explain why the plane would have started spinning around.
Yeah. It almost sounds like the pilots must have let someone without experience fly it. When it went out of control, they must have regained control of the steering. But because of the plane's constant spinning, it must have lost height. If we find the plane, we could actually get a good explanation out of this. Either from the 24/7 recording, or from the state of the passengers and pilots.
Did you enjoy the beginning? Because this is only just that. The beginning.
Well, I have noticed some strange names like Yasovsky, Tarko, and Yundu. Did we create a Russian episode?
Well, yeah. The names are kind of strange from what we usually use, but they fit the characters.
Okay.
Well, anyway, it's time for the start of something dark. Keep listening for a dark twist.
There's something out there. Hey, tap the brakes.
All right, Yondu and Jacob, stay here.
They walked for at least 15 minutes before arriving at a secluded beach. And what did they see? A crashed plane, still on fire, and completely destroyed at the impact. Bodies were everywhere. Some so mangled that it was impossible to tell if they were human or plane seats. That's how bad the condition of everyone was in. One thing was for sure, all 45 passengers had been killed at the impact.
I guess now we know if they survived or not. It's kind of clear they did not survive.
Oh my dear God. What the heck? We need to check the cockpit.
After squeezing through the tight crash site, they arrived at the cockpit, seeing two kids, 15 and 12, lifeless, on the floor. They were almost completely destroyed, and only 2 of the 3 pilots were visible. This was weird, but to their surprise, they managed to recover the recorder. It was a significant breakthrough. They would now discover exactly what happened. But firstly, they needed to have a chat with their boss back at the office.
Alright, let's leave and see what Indo thinks.
Oh, I'm gonna puke. Let's just go fast.
When they asked Indo what to do next, they began listening to the recording. And it was completely terrifying. It began just after what seemed like the second pilot saying he needed a coffee break and went out of the cockpit. So the main pilot came back from his break with his 2 kids. The following is the complete recording, and we say to all of you listeners who have a faint heart, close down the video now. Here we go.
Alright, for those yet again who don't like emotional dark twists, you should close the story now. And by the way, what am I seeing? I can see the subscribe button down below being red. Why don't you press it to turn it green? That's a much more fun color. Anyway, let's wrap this story up.
Hey. Yeah, hey Philip. You want to test drive it?
Are you sure that I can try, Dad?
Yeah, what could go wrong? John is sitting next to you, and he will help hold the plane in place.
Philip jumped into the seat while his dad told him what to do.
All right, the autopilot's off.
Okay, Philip, hold your hands on the wheel, and now turn it to the left.
Philip did, and the plane followed his movement.
Great. Try the other side.
Everything was going as planned until Yasovsky's other son intervened.
Dad, I want to go back to my seat.
Why?
I just want to.
Well, be silent when you go out again. Dad doesn't want to be fired.
Dad?
Yes, Philip?
The airplane is starting to steer by itself. It's going around.
What? Why is it doing that?
I don't know. It seems like Philip accidentally must have pressed some button or something when he moved into my seat.
Panic hit when the plane fell into a 180-degree turn to the left.
Philip, leave the seat and let your dad take over.
Why?
Philip, move now!
Why? What's the problem?
Don't you see the danger? Move, or we might crash!
Philip and Yasovsky struggled to change seats because of the plane's current position, but they finally were able to. However, when they had changed seats, Philip accidentally pressed the engine button, which made the plane's propeller stop, causing the plane to fall without hesitation.
We're losing height!
The engine is off! Turn it on!
Okay, they're running!
Pull the wheel, hard!
The plane now lost control. The falling plus the engine made the plane rotate without control. It was falling, making loops in the air to the ground.
Okay, calm down. We need to get back into control. Just turn the right, okay?
Alright, we will fix this, alright?
Yeah, just pull as hard as you can.
The two pilots finally got control over the spinning, but they were just 300 meters over the ground and didn't have time to turn the plane upward. They didn't give up though, and the last 3 words by the two pilots were heartbreaking. Their last conversation was the one following up.
Don't sink. Flight slow. Plus 100. Pull up.
John, we need to level out. We can't crash like this.
I'm doing my best, Yasowski. The controls are barely responding.
Terrain.
The plane was now mere seconds away from impact, hurtling towards the ground with an unstoppable force. The last words exchanged between the pilots were filled with desperation and a haunting realization.
Brace for impact. Brace for...
The recording abruptly ended, leaving the investigators in stunned silence. The room echoed with the sounds of the tragic event, and the detectives exchanged somber glances.
So, it was a series of unfortunate events, a cascading failure that led to the tragic end.
Those poor souls had no idea what hit them.
We need to inform the families. This is a nightmare.
We have the answers now. Let's gather the evidence and prepare to deliver the news to the families. They deserve to know the truth.
The investigators were faced with the grim truth behind the airplane's disappearance. The sequence of events painted a tragic picture of human error and unforeseen circumstances. The wreckage on the beach stood as a silent testament to the lives lost that day. That's how this tragic story ends. And to make this story even darker, I want to let the radio host explain something for you all.
Yes, the dark truth of this airplane disaster is that it's based on a true event.
That's so sad, just because of 2 stupid pilots letting their kids drive a plane.
Well, anyway, next episode is episode 9, and that will be my creepy experience at Trivia Podcast Productions Part 2. And until then, remember, the darkness always finds a way into your heart. Take care. Peace out.
First time you see me in our podcasts.
I'm the founder of this channel. My name is Rasmus, and we're back again with Creepypasta Radio. So I have been live streaming and stuff, so you guys have already seen my face before, but this is the first time you'll see me in an episode. Yay! Well, I thought, why not just show my face so I can do these type of announcements in the future too. But all I wanted to say is that me and a friend named Taco have made a new channel named Believe Theory. It is a kind of rip-off on Game Theory, but we'll do both film style, food and game theories and GT lives too on the same channel. So I just thought I would say, please go and subscribe to that channel while you're at it, and more than that I don't have to say. But you can see our new outro right here. I'm going to test it out to see if it works in the future Believe Theory videos. And more than that I don't know what to say. But thank you for watching. And remember, a theory isn't just a notion. It's something you truly believe in. Peace out.
You're gonna die, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die, I'm gonna kill you. You're gonna die, I'm gonna kill you.